Hi, my name is Rosti, and today I will present our work titled Capturing Cancer as Music, Cancer Mechanisms Expressed in Musification. Cancer education is a difficult task. This is due to the complexity of the disease. Studies have shown that most cancer education literature is difficult for the general public to understand. We propose an alternative approach to teaching people about the mechanisms of cancer with musification. Musification is the process of turning data into music. However, our approach works differently from typical examples of musification. We start from a piece of music and apply the process that we are modeling to it. In this case, we give the music cancer. Our approach takes a piece of sheet music as input and mutates it according to a set of rules that correspond to the way that cancer mutates cells. To do this, we consider each part in a musical piece as a different type of cell. We represent the start of cancer in a piece by randomly selecting one of the parts near the beginning of the piece. A subset of the measures of that part become a cancer theme. Instead of that part progressing past the selection, the part with cancer begins to loop the theme. This represents the cell dividing out of control. A cancer part can also spawn new cancer parts underneath it. On each division, the theme has a chance to mutate some of its notes. There are 5 types of mutations that are possible. Insertions, which add notes, inversions, which flip the order of notes, deletions, which remove notes, translocations, which copy measures over, transpositions, which change the pitch of notes. Our approach can also simulate the effects of chemotherapy. Therapy is represented in the piece by cancer themes becoming silent. There is a chance, adjustable by a listener, that a cancer part will survive the therapy, similar to the way they do in real life. If a cancer part survives, it gradually reproduces and grows back. Once we completed our prototype, it was necessary to evaluate it. We came up with 3 main questions we would need to answer. Is our approach pedagogically effective? Do people learn more about cancer if they listen to a piece of music? Is a musical background necessary to understand the approach? Do people without musical experience still understand the process? What kind of reactions does our approach elicit? We ran an initial study with 13 participants. Before listening to the mutated song, they read a short primer on the mechanisms of cancer for context. They filled out Likert scale questions on how they felt about our approach, and were then asked a series of related interview questions once they completed the survey. The following is an original version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. The following is a sample mutation participants listened to during the study. All participants found their approach to be interesting and unique. When asked, participants said they would recommend our approach to others, especially to children and people who have difficulty reading. However, some participants raised concerns about the amount of prerequisite knowledge needed to understand the approach. This was particularly aimed at the sheet music we displayed to the participants. Participants with a musical background thought non-musicians would have a hard time following the development of the cancer throughout the piece. We also happened to interview a cancer patient who felt that our approach successfully captured the emotional aspect of having cancer. The initial study proved insightful and demonstrated that our approach could be appealing to a wide audience, but we needed more proof to demonstrate that our approach effectively educates people and is accessible to those without a musical background. This motivated our follow-up study. In our follow-up study, we split 50 participants into 2 groups. Group A read an article about cancer, and Group B read the article and listened to a mutated piece. To objectively measure how much people learned from our study, we asked participants to fill out questions based on the article. We also employed the self-assessment mannequin to measure the valence and excitement of participants after they had listened to the music. Both groups were also asked about their personal experiences with cancer. Group B additionally filled out an assessment that measured their levels of musical literacy. Finally, Group B was asked to mark where the cancer and therapy started on an interactive audio waveform of the mutated piece. Our analysis demonstrated that the music group, Group B, outperformed Group A on the cancer literacy assessment after the study was complete. However, we found that while most participants were able to accurately identify where the cancer started in a piece, they were not able to find where the therapy started. We found no correlation between people's scores on the musical literacy assessment and the changes in their cancer literacy scores. This was also true for individuals who had prior experience with cancer. We also found that Group B overwhelmingly had negative reactions to the music based on their responses to the self-assessment mannequin. This indicates that the mutated music has a profound emotional impact on the listener, echoing the sentiments of our participant who suffered from cancer. In the future, we aim to develop a visualization that can help non-musicians navigate the details of a mutated piece. We want to provide a detailed overview of the workings of cancer through music, and a visualization that requires little explanation to understand could help reinforce the ideas we are trying to spread. Our approach could also be applied to popular melodies from other cultures, as we realized that not everyone would be familiar with a Western melody like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We also look forward to testing our approach with cancer patients and other special interest groups to see how impactful and accessible our work is. Finally, we encourage the exploration of musification as an effective pedagogical tool in other fields. This area of research is largely unexplored and could lead us to a world where knowledge is more accessible for all. And that concludes my presentation.